Good morning, students. Welcome to Pandya Sir's virtual class on macroeconomics. As last class, we have already discussed the initial part of national income accounting. Today, we will take our discussion further and we will try to discuss and understand. The first point is difference between gross and net, difference between domestic and national income, and difference between factor cost and market price. So unless we understand clearly the difference between these two things, we cannot grasp, we cannot actually understand different aggregates used in national income accounting, that is GDPMP, GDPFC, NNPMP, NNPFC. All these are different aggregates, and what is the basic difference? What is the difference between all those aggregates which are used in national income accounting? First point is the difference between gross and net. We'll take one example to understand the difference between gross and net. Suppose I have got a transport business and I purchased one truck and I used it in my transport business. So you understand very well that the value of the truck when I purchased it will not be the same after using it for 1 year. That means with the passage of time, when capital goods are used, they lose their basic value, and that reduction in the value of capital goods due to repeated use or wear and tear, rather say, is called depreciation. In our previous classes, we have already discussed the meaning of depreciation and the difference that makes between gross and net is depreciation. Always remember, gross is a bigger concept than net. That's why if we add depreciation to net, then we will get gross. So from this single formula, we can derive other formulas, like if we want to get net from gross, then we have to subtract depreciation from gross. And net and depreciation, that is reduction in the value of capital goods due to repeated use, if we add it with the net value of something, then we get the gross value of something. So, to conclude, the difference between gross and net value is depreciation. Net is always a smaller concept than gross. Hence, in order to get gross, we need to add depreciation to net. So, gross minus net equal to depreciation. Our second point is domestic and national income. Yesterday only we have already discussed the meaning of domestic territory and the meaning of domestic income and the meaning of national income. So what makes the difference? We know very well that domestic income is the value of all final goods and services produced in our domestic territory in one accounting year, whereas national income is the sum total of all the value of final goods and services produced by normal residents of a country. And what we mean by normal resident? He might be living in our domestic territory, or he might be living in ROW. ROW stands for rest of the world, that which is not our domestic territory. So any person, if he is a resident of India but living in some other part of the world and his economic interest lies with our country, then the income he generates will be part of our national income. Thus, if we see the difference between national income and domestic income, what we find is that national income is a bigger concept than domestic income. So, in order to get our national income with our domestic income, we need to add NFIA. Also, we have already discussed yesterday what is NFIA. It stands for Net Factor Income from Abroad. So, just I told you the difference between gross and net. So, what is net factor income from abroad? It is the income generated to people or residents of our country who are not living in our domestic territory but who are living in some other part of the world, which is also called the rest of the world, and the income generated to them, if we add it with our domestic income, then we will get our national income. Thus, to get our domestic income, we need to subtract NFIA from national income. That is, national income minus net factor income from abroad is our domestic income. So, the concept that makes the difference between national income and domestic income is NFIA, or in full form, net factor income from abroad. Third point, that is factor cost and market price. So we will take one example in order to understand the difference between factor cost and market price. We know that there is a producing sector or farm sector that produce different goods and services, and how in an economy different goods and services are produced, it is the responsibility, the job of the producer. And what the producer does, the producer combines different factor of productions like land, labor, capital and entrepreneur, and from that combination he add value to some basic things or raw materials, and he produces a more valuable thing that has got the potential of satisfying our demand in a better way. Thus, the value of finished product or final product is more than the value of raw materials. So suppose in order to produce a product, the producer is using X, Y and Z, three factors of production, and the value of X is 10 rupees, the value of Y is 8 rupees and the value of Z is 2 rupees. Thus, in order to produce 1 unit of product, the producer is spending 10 plus 8 plus 2, that is rupees 20. Now, the more important question is that how the producer will fix the price of his product. Is it 20 rupees? Is the producer going to sell his product at 20 rupees? Don't you think that the producer has some other expenses also? What are those expenses? Those expenses are NIT. In full, it is called net indirect tax. Of course, here it is not the right time to discuss between different type of taxes like indirect tax and direct tax. Later we will be discussing those things. But NIT, it is the tax that a producer needs to pay to the government in order to produce a product. And suppose the tax amount of tax that the producer is paying to government is rupees 5. Thus, the producer in totality is spending 10 plus 8 plus 2 plus 5, that is rupees 25. So now it is quite clear that what would be the price of each product after being produced. It is not 20 rupees because tax is not added. Yes, if we speak about factor cost, that what is the cost of different factors like X, Y, Z, then it is 20 rupees. So if factor cost of producing 1 unit of that product is 20 rupees, then the market price of producing 1 unit of that product is 25 rupees. So it is quite clear now that which one between market price and factor cost is a bigger unit. It is of course the market price. And what makes the difference between factor cost and market price? It is the net indirect tax that is paid to the government by the producing unit. So if we reduce from market price, if we deduct NIT, that is net indirect tax, then we will arrive at factor cost. Thus, MP minus NIT is FC, FC plus NIT is MP, and MP minus FC is NIT. That is, if we deduct factor cost from market price, then we will get the net indirect tax or the amount of tax that the producer is paying to government. Now our next point of discussion is factor income and factor payment with transfer income and transfer payment. Income, what we earn due to our ability or skill, but at times without any ability, without any skill, we get some income, like a beggar getting money from different people. And remember, the people are paying money to the beggar, and in return of that payment, the beggar is not paying anything or not doing any work for the people who are paying money. Thus, the beggar is able to generate some income not by dint of his caliber or skill, but due to some other factor. So, this type of one-sided payment or one-sided income is called transfer income or transfer payment. Like you all get pocket money from your parents, and do you think you are supposed to do something in return because your parents are paying you pocket money? No. So payment of pocket money or earning of pocket money is yet another case of transfer income and transfer payment. But what is factor income and factor payment? When a factor of production, may it be land, may it be labor, may it be other factor of payments like entrepreneurs. So, if they are getting some earning due to their talent or their labor, and here who is using them is getting something in return of that. Suppose I engaged one man to dig a ditch for me. So here the man is doing some work for me and I am giving some payment to that man. So the payment that the beggar is, the man who is digging a ditch will be a factor income, and the payment for which what I am paying to that man who is digging a ditch for me is factor payment. Thus, factor payment, it is two-sided, that is one side there is flow of money and from other side there is flow of services. Whereas transfer income and transfer payment, it is always one-sided income or one-sided payment, and here only flow of money is there, and in return there is no corresponding flow of any service or anything else. So that is the difference between factor income payment and transfer income and payment. So just we discussed about NIT, net indirect tax, and we can conclude that it is a transfer income received from people by the government. Net indirect tax is a transfer income received from people by the government. Thank you for today, and tomorrow we'll continue our discussion on national income accounting and we'll go further. Once again I repeat, if you are getting any doubt, then please feel free to consult me. Thank you.